Alright, so according to, well, welcome to the stream. It's just a little test video if you're watching this. Um, this is Crowfall. This is pre-alpha gameplay here. This is it's the last day of a test weekend. And this is really my first time. Like I logged in a couple weekends ago and it was on for a few minutes before the server went down. But this first time on, this is actually on a PvE server. Wanted to go on a PvP server, but they're all I don't have a good connection to them, so I want to get something I had a decent connection to, since it'll be my first time. They didn't have any East Coast servers for the PvP when I logged in. Um, I know last time they did, so maybe they're checking to see if people will gravitate to PvP or not, which I would, because that's one of the reasons I am interested in this game. And yeah, I also have backed the game. I'm officially a shareholder of it, I guess now, so the company. So, which is a cool thing for me. Let's see here. This is your vessel, so you start the game in this like spirit bird form, and then to choose your class you just go around and select one. I don't know if this is going to be a pre-alpha thing. Actually, I'll go ranger. The thing is, once I do this I gotta run. Well, I'm not on a PvP server, so never mind. I've seen videos, people log in and vessel name. We can't change anything, it doesn't look like, yet. So, ooh, that's a lot of light. Oh, right click. Alright. Now, nice to have a, where do I get a bow? Okay. Can I still do this stuff? No. It's my inventory, I guess. We'll keep it there for now. What's this lock? Alright, let's lock the size. You will lock it so you don't accidentally do anything to it. Alright, so you hold shift down to sprint, so you see the stamina going down there in the bottom right. And then after a while, I'm not doing it, it goes up. Okay. There's a house over there. Maybe there's some stuff in the house. Actually, let's check inventory, make sure we... Oh, that is inventory. Okay, that scared me. I have headphones on, so that was kind of loud in my ear. Let's turn that down. It's like the UI settings are like... There's like a threshold where it's like loud, 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 and quiet. So, cause 1% music, it sounds really loud to me. Like it sounds like it's probably at like 50%, but that could be because I have the headphones on too. So we'll see. And you know that type of thing is not on the list for optimization at this stage. You know, they're still building the world and the game. That looks cool, whatever that is over there, a little camp with the glowing stones. We'll go there next. So this is my reintroduction to MMOs. I've played quite a few. Uh, my first MMO, that's a hard one because I don't really remember exactly what it was. I think it was called Rune. What was it? RuneScape? No, I don't remember. It was a basically I just know I got in a beta for it. But so when I say beta, you're thinking okay, you go to a website, download the game, right? No, this is like back in early 2000s, if not 2000. Um, so it was like 2000, 2001 or something. So it was this company, I think out of New York, and they mailed me a physical copy of the game. Installed it, was on there. I'm trying to, it's something Rune. I cannot remember the name of the game. Or Rubies of Eventide. That's what it was. So I think that was my first taste of MMOs. Actually playing it, I know I wanted to play Ultima Online and stuff like that. Never got into that until late. I played it a little bit, but Ultima Online was before I had access to decent internet that I could be on for long periods of time. Uh, so actually, I guess I played online game. My first online game, no, that I don't know if that would be first online game, but I know one that I played in college um, a lot was Mech Commander and Mech Commander 2 and StarCraft. We played a lot of matches of StarCraft in college, and that was actually really cool. I had this one moment playing a friend down the hall in the dorms, and he was the Zerg. What is this? Loot. Nothing. It's a gravestone. Um, he was down the hall playing Zerg. I was the humans, the Terrans, and he was massing up an army to come attack. And I had my little stealth guy. I forgot the names of them because I haven't played it in a long time. Um, Stealth guy moves in. I had my nuke ready, and I saw him, and I was just like, oh, he's set up perfectly for this nuke drop. So I was like, hey, I'll give him a gift. Launched a nuke. Boom, whole screen turns red, and I hear no from down the hall. I actually run down the hall and just yell at him. I was like, "Gotcha!" I then run back to my room so he didn't try to beat me. But that was game basically at that point. Um, so yeah, that was one of my memorable moments from StarCraft multiplayer playing that. Since I'm not as big into RTSs, kind of got my fill of StarCraft and that genre uh, throughout the various games that came out during that time. Um, yeah, I don't know where I'm supposed to go. I know you can't swim. It's just I'll just run in the water. But I don't know where you get anything, or do I have to craft it or something? Alright, so let's actually change this because this is not gonna. Oh, can't do that. That's cool. So you don't have to actually pick up this stuff. I can run over it. Oh, it's not done? So I just found out I probably should move my logo, shouldn't I? Oh, there's some food, which I know you see the ham legs or whatever you want to call them up there. I know we gotta eat. So anyway, back to my history of MMOs. The order of some of this stuff might be hard for me to remember. Actually, I just remember playing games. I don't have the greatest memory, but well, it was Evens of Ruby, Evens of Ruby Tide, and then there was, I think, Shadowbane came after that. So I played that for a long time. I'm not even sure how long that was. I played it for a while. Out of all my friends, that when we started playing, I was the last one um, to stop playing it. I remember before the game went down, I was on like a faction server that restricted like what races and classes you could play and be on the same in the guilds with each other. So it was like if you were if you were a Minotaur, or if you were the Iroquois, the flying race, flying birds, um, humanoid birds. If you were them, you couldn't be on the same side with humans or something else. So you were restricted to your class. So you had to make builds that would work. Um, that would be in normal gameplay when it was like didn't matter what your faction was or what your class was. Faction, I guess, would be or race was. You could be in any guild and there would be optimum builds to make. But since this was the thing, it's like, okay, how do we craft? Sorry, and if this was a I did wood. There's probably a fast way to do that. I don't know what this makes. Let's see. Harvesting rune. Yay. Oh, that's what it said over there. Alright. So I guess we equip this. This hammer rune. Okay. Don't know what that was about. How do I move this window? Such a simple thing, right? I guess I can't. I guess that only opens when this is up. So, Spirit Bank, okay. How to close it? Okay, click it again. It's probably some shortcut keys I need to learn. Alright, so we should be able to do the stone now, I think. Yeah. So Shadowbane played that, and actually I think one of the co-founders of Archcraft Entertainment was behind Shadowbane. So what led me to this, actually, when I heard he was involved with it, because I've been waiting for another Shadowbane-like game. with updated gameplay and graphics and stuff. Um, so it was the ultimate sandbox game. If you didn't know about it, it was very brutal, yet fun at the same time. So the I guess the what's the chain, the food chain in the game was kind of like to make money was to, how can we say this? So you could make your own shops. You could actually build your own cities, okay? In that game, like as a guild, build your own cities, walls, everything. Have your own shops. Um, make the items, find items. Like you had to get runes for classes. Like you would get a base class, and then you could have to fight these world bosses, I guess you could say, or mobs that were pretty difficult, I think, to fight. And they drop these runes that would give you give you like a new class ability. Um, I remember one roommate, he was like gathering rat catchers. That was a class or a subclass that gave you some abilities. Like nobody really used that one, so he was like, I want to get it and make a cool thing out of it. He had tons of them in his inventory. But so like I made this like Amazon character that was like, I think it was an Amazon class, and she was a warrior or a barbarian and something else, and then I made her use an axe or a sword or something. Then had another class that gave her like ability to attack faster, and so I made this one. But in that game, when you added strength, your character would get bigger. So the more strength you had, the bigger your character. So she was like this. She looked like this giant, like this half giant, because you could be, I think, half giant and be bigger. And like minotaurs are big. She was as big as like a minotaur in that game, and they were tired. They were probably almost, if in game they probably been, if I had the real world numbers, they probably have been like 10 foot tall. She was close to that, and she, it was ridiculous. She was not really a good build, but it was just the whole. Um, oh, it's too high. Oh, did it? Oh, pick. They make a pick. So she she was great. I loved it. I mean, it was bad, but I loved it. Um, so anyway, but the thing with that game is like the farmers farm. They farm mobs, and then the griefers or uh, not griefers, but anyone that was into PvP, they farmed farmers. So it was a lot of AFK farming. Like people would do that a lot, and so the thing about AFK farming, they like the PvPers will find them, and they might wait, and then they'll kill the farmers because your corpses were 100% lootable. Um, Actually, I think I'm not sure, but I think the only thing you couldn't loot was what you had on, but that might be wrong too. Um, it was brutal like that, like it was 100% lootable. That you could loot yourselves, get killed, and be looted for all your gold. So your gold was an item in the game. Okay, I'm not ready for that yet. I don't have a weapon. Um, so your items are a weapon in a game, and well, what? So your money was an item in the game. So you do, so you lose all your money, and I didn't say anything. I think I was gonna say something. So I have a pickaxe. Where's that stuff? It had like marbling in it, right? I just been running around talking. So people would loot you, take all your stuff, and that would suck. Then you have to start all over. Not all over, but that money you made. And just that's the same thing. Like sometimes people wouldn't be able to beat a boss or something, or it was just them. They needed friends to help, and they couldn't get to take out a mob that had a rune. So sometimes, they would do stealth, and they were stealth characters. They could stealth, wait till you kill the mob, and then right after, when you're rejuvenating, kill you, and then take the thing from you. So that sounds horrible, but it made for very intense moments, like random moments, which is great. What I'm all about, random intense moments. Um, so also with the cities you could build, like guild, you have guild versus guild battles, destroying cities. Um, Wars would start over some of the dumbest things too, and people get really mad when their cities are destroyed. So I mean, you could conquer areas of the map. It was really cool. So it was much like the things we're talking about sound cool, and then like all that stuff is in this game in some form. I mean, it's different, but it's in this game, or will be in this game. Um, and the fact that they did world resets in that game sometimes, or open new servers, and then people would flood the new servers to get a reset. So I think they're taking that experience and playing into the whole shards, where you get these worlds that you'll go into, and you'll have to wait. I mean, you go gather resources to build, and then you have a permanent world, and you have the shards you go into, and you can establish yourselves in those worlds and win that thing. So it's kind of taking that whole idea and making it more of a game mechanic, other than like, hey, we added a new world for you guys to go start from the beginning. Because some people might like that beginning feel, like that beginning conquer. Some people might like the end game type thing. So this is like encompassing both of it. So it sounds great to me. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's a little some stuttery and stuff, but I mean, like I said, it's pre-alpha on this gameplay right now. But considering my system is, well, my processor, I think, is almost 11 years old, 9 to 11 years old, somewhere around that. It's not too shabby. I think it came out 2011 or 2009, not sure which one. It's a Phenom. Actually, it's a Phenom. Phenom 2, I think. AMD Phenom 2. Anyway. But yeah, that was my Shadowbane experience, or some of it. Most of my great MMO experiences come from Shadowbane. After Shadowbane, where I lost most of my friends to, uh, actually, I feel like there was other games before this. There was I don't remember the years and stuff, but it might have been in between. But the game I lost all my friends to, was World of Warcraft. Well, my Shadowbane friends, anyway, that I came in with, so on Shadowbane. So my one friend that heard about Shadowbane, that got me into it, he was, I think, the first to go to WoW, and he's still playing it to this day, actually. Um, it's not as hardcore as he was. We really never got hardcore, I guess you could say, about it. But so WoW, I played for a while. Was in a guild, started my own guild. Uh, Watchers of Scenaris. Um, had that going for a while. Was really hoping that they would do an expansion on the Dream. I can't remember what they called it. The Dream World, or whatever it was called. Which I've heard that the last expansion they did, they have like it's a whole dungeon or something that's related to that, but too little, too late, for me, because I was hoping like they would do like a whole like Burning Crusade, like world changing event like that, or like a duplicate world or something like that with it, because that's what I was gearing up. I did the whole Watchers thing for I think at least a year. I think technically it's probably still up unless like they killed my character, which I doubt. Um, so it's probably at least one of my characters or some of my characters in there. So you probably can look it up on the website and see my character, or at least some of my characters. Um, I did a lot of druids, or uh, like I had a druid, I had a night elf druid. I started um, Alliance, and then over the years got bored with Alliance. Actually, probably wasn't that long. Got bored with Alliance, then went Horde, and then because I liked the Tarn, which honestly the Tarn are the least Horde like of all the Horde groups. They could have easily turned into Alliance. Um, like their philosophy and stuff, they could have easily been Alliance. And then yeah, so did that for a while. Kind of went solo for a little bit. Didn't really get into the raiding. I did a little bit of it, but it wasn't really my thing. Um, I love the random PvP. Actually, I gotta make a weapon before I try something. Um, Random PvP is my thing, so that's why this thing is like awesome to me. Oh, I don't have enough. It's one of my favorite experiences in WoW was we were on PvP server, obviously, and I was in where were we? I think the jungle area near I forgot the name of it. Stranglethorn, I think is Stranglethorn. We were near that, or I was running around doing some quests around that as my with my shaman I had, and this druid started attacking me, and we started fighting. Night Elf druid, and like we're fighting across. We're running. He's running. We were fighting. We're both kind of low. I kind of had the upper hand on him. Then he starts running, and then we're fighting. Mana's low, and we're doing all just running across Stranglethorn, um, fighting, and it felt like it took forever. But we were fighting, running across Stranglethorn, running through mobs like I was not giving up on this chase, and then then we get to the ocean here, and he's out in the ocean. He goes into his dolphin form, starts swimming faster. I throw up my water walk form. I'm running across the water, trying to throw, trying to damage him in his dolphin form, keeping up with him, and then he'll do a spell, hit me, and then I'll turn into, then I'll sink and I have to do it again and chase. So we just did this over and over, and he did that a couple times. He got far enough away, and he turned into a stealth mode and underwater and hid somewhere. And like the thing was, I didn't. It was like it was two things. Like one, it was I had to like applaud him. Like I tried to tell him, great battle, because it was amazing, man. This fight, we just ran across the land fighting, 1 versus 1, um, and it was a stalemate. Ultimately, like I had him on the ropes. That's why he was running. Um, but it was a stalemate. He got away, and it was just awesome battle. Like it was my most fun battle I think I ever had in a while, and quite honestly, it was one of those moments where I was like looking back on it, it was like I could have stopped playing WoW right after that and been okay, which I played for off and on for a little while longer. Because that was the height of my WoW experience, and that's when I knew that WoW wasn't really the game that I wanted it to be for me. Because I'm very PvP and crafting focused. I know they might not go together, but I enjoy doing the crafting and having my crafting be useful for the people in the world that PvP or do whatever. And then I like exploring a lot. Like I'll run around and find stuff and have random encounters with people, like good and bad encounters. So that is what I look for in MMO, and there has not been a game out there that can satisfy, especially the crafting side of it. Um, uh, the combat side, there's games out there that you can have those interests with. I've played. There's this game Sony made that had a really cool crafting system, and it had a diplomatic system, and I cannot remember the name of it right now. It didn't really last. It was really buggy, but I thought it had like a lot of potential when I played it. I don't know if I played the beta or if I played the actual launch. Um, was it something SOE, or was that the initials for it? I think, or is that just the Sony stuff? I don't know. I don't think it was the Sony. I think the initials was SOE, so I have to look up what that was called. I can't remember. Um, but it was it had potential for me. Um, like the diplomacy thing, like it was like a game, a mini game that you could play, and then, or sorry, not diplomacy, but politics. Um, it was like a mini game you could play, and then your faction in these cities, because these are open cities, like if your faction was winning the mini game, your faction would get bonuses. So like bonuses in a certain area that the city overlooks or whatever, which was I think a cool concept. I don't know how it actually turned out in game, like with a lot of people playing, if it ended up being too unbalanced or something like. Um, but it was cool that you could do. Someone thought about that and tried to make it a thing. What was that game? I can't remember the name of that game. But the crafting system was very involved. Um, and I think the only way you got stuff was through crafting. Like they didn't have mob drops. They had mobs might have dropped items that you would use to craft things, but they never dropped weapons, if not mistaken. And it was kind of at a time where theme park MMOs was the thing, where WoW had set the stage for it. Like, I think this is in the early years of WoW when it came out, so WoW kind of ruined it in a way. You're like, what? WoW didn't ruin anything. And I like WoW. WoW's good, but in that sense, it kind of ruined things. And then what else did I play? There's a host of games that I played but didn't really get into much. So I don't even. They're like blimps on the radar, barely, like they barely come up on the radar. Put it that way. That's why I can't remember them. What else? What else did I play that I can remember? I know I played last MMO I played was ArcheAge. Was there for the beginning of it, of the server when it came up, which was cool. Like my thing in that game wasn't even really combat. Like obviously I said I would like to craft and exploration, so it was like I'm going to find land for our guild, and like find me a land for a house, find land for my guildmates so we can all be close together. We as a guild we scoped out this area we liked. Actually, we scoped out really 3 areas. One, the first, no, number 1 and 2 spots we didn't get. At least we got like 1 spot. We didn't get as many spots in the area we wanted as we wanted. But then this other spot we found later on, and was able to get more spots down there. And it was a nice little cove out of the way. And things were going good. I was like the realtor of the guild. I was running around finding homes, buying homes. It's like, selling a home, I buy. But in that game, it was like, you had foreclosures, I guess you could say, where the house is going down and people have to plop their things down to get it, but it was like a random chance. You had to like click really fast and be the first one to do it, and it was like 50 people. Well, when it first started, it was like 10, 12 people that would be around at these times, and I was just going around finding out when they would when that time was coming. I did like a whole database for it. I posted it on the forum, so if any of my guildmates wanted to do it, but none of them came out at the beginning, and it was just me. So I was like collecting all these homes, and I had all these taxes to pay on it, and I was just like, all right, I gotta start giving these away. If if you guys like, I was selling them. The ones that weren't close, I was selling, or I was trading lots. So I would trade like a lot here over one area to get a lot in another area, or sometimes I would trade like two lots to get one lot in the area close to my guild, just because I need to get rid of them, and my guildmates didn't want them in those areas, um, and I didn't want them to just go to waste. If I could like trade them to someone else to get something I wanted, I would. And so I did this, and then after a while, it's like I started noticing the guildmates that I gave homes to, because some of them bought, some of them I gave. I started giving it near the end, and I was like, all right, I'll give this to you, but don't sell it. Like if you sell it in guild. Like offer it to guild first, um, and like post it on the forum, blah blah blah. And then people started selling them, because like I knew which houses they were, which sections they were, because it was like I had this database, and I like that's all I did when I logged into the game. I was like, so people started selling the homes, and I'm like, come on, man. Like right after I gave them to them too, it wasn't even like they had it for a long period of time. So they started selling the homes, and I was like, all right, I'm not doing this for the guild anymore. It's like, I'll post the information out. If you want them, you go get them. Um, and that was the beginning of the end for that for me, I think. And then we started having some internal uh, guild issues with leadership. Um, like the leader that everyone thought was going to lead was like never really took the leadership role or something. It was something weird like that. And then this person that someone most people didn't know from another game ends up leading, and there was some shading dealings going on. At least I thought it was shady, and a few others. Because it was all like use the guild to build up our RP buildings first, and don't give anything back to the guild type thing. And let's do what I want to do type thing. So I was like, okay, this is not cool. So that kind of fell apart, at least for me it did. I think some people stayed in. But that I didn't really leave the guild, I was just kind of doing my own thing. And I couldn't really do a lot of the RP stuff because of my work schedule at the time. It was always during the times I had to work. So, like the big group RP stuff. And that was really the first time that I was in a guild like that did a lot of big RP stuff. And it was 50-50. Like some of the stuff I was down with, some of it I wasn't. Um, but can I get up here? This is probably like only because it's alpha. Get on that green. Can I get that green? I'm a mountain climber, damn it. See, if I had some abilities or spells or something that could like make me leap forward. Yeah, we did it. Ha, and that's funny. That's on a timer. That's not because I did that, but exploration basics it popped up right as I did it. That was cool. Haha. Oh, this is cool. Cool vista. You can see the edges of the world. Or at least the world that's not rendered yet. If I knew the button to... I could look it up, I guess. But inputs, no inputs, no key bindings. What's to remove our? It might not be in there yet. It's probably somewhere, but oh, we can probably build this now. But yeah, so anyway, that was ArcheAge. I did, and then after ArcheAge, what was it after ArcheAge? So yeah, I can rename that, but that's cool. I don't remember what was. I don't think anything was after ArcheAge. I think that was the end. ArcheAge was it was a big law before ArcheAge. Um, Tried a bunch of games for a little bit, like that D&D Dungeons and Dragons online, the Morrowind one, which is it? What is that called? I can't think of the name of it right now. Uh, Whatever game that is, I played that for a bit. Um, I can't remember what that game was though. I can't remember the name of it. It's the one that everyone loves, the open world in it. That I'm like, I play it. I never play. Whenever I play those games, I cannot. Anyway, whenever I play them, I never play the actual. I start playing the campaign and then like I just start randomly doing. Um, Alright, is there a way to do multiple? There probably is, but I don't know how to do that yet. Can I make a blueprint? I guess that's for if you created something. So it's bookmarks, I guess. I don't really know what that means. Alright. Okay, whatever. Paired axes. So my friends would have a big laugh about that one. Paired axes. That's a thing in this game. Yes. Um, See, I don't know what weapons I can use. I don't know what. I feel like I should be able to use like a sword or something. We're gonna make a stone sword. Just cause. But, yeah. That's, yeah, we lit. Can we use it? I hear the no, but what's the no saying? Is it because I have a weapon there? So what is this? Alright, I got 75 arrows. Make some more. Make 100. I don't know how many you can carry, but I'll make 100. Cause I don't feel like making any more. See if I can just add that, yeah. Let's see. Doesn't say how many. There's some runes. I guess that's your discipline runes. Blood. Oh snap. Gonna have to look into that more. That's the only thing about the weekend thing is like I don't really use. I'm usually working today, this stop, but blacksmithing. Oh wow, we can actually do some of this. I don't know if we can actually do this slag or really can do something with slag. Huh. So that's really cool to me. That's really cool. I'm all about that. Like it's very, yeah, I'm all about that. Exploration and crafting, man. That's where it's at. And necromancy. Yeah, this game has freaking grave robbing and necromancy, so you have to like get parts. So look, let's see. Dissected arm. So you need a humerus, enchanted humerus, and enhanced heart. I can't really make that up. Looks like it says hard, but let me see. It's a ambrosia solution. So yeah, you can make limbs, and then people can get limbs, and that's the thing. It's like you can get limbs and add limbs to you that have bonuses, but you only can do so much of it because like it takes away like your soul or something. So I don't remember. It's a way to balance it. Um, so stuff like that's cool, and you have to make like you have to have vessels because it's the whole thing is like your spirit. You're a crow. That's what you start out as. Your soul is like this crow that can embody these vessels. So that's why you can change classes and you're not stuck to one. Actually, they want you to level up three different ones to have. So, and leveling is all Evish. So if you're familiar with Eve Online, um, it's like that with the leveling. I like this area. So yeah, there's a lot of other games I played that I just don't remember. So those were the major ones that shaped my MMO experience. And Shadowbane and WoW are probably the two biggest. And then comes Ruby's Eventide was my first. So, and then and actually I don't know if that actually released. If it did release, it wasn't like around for a long time. Um, but yeah. Anyway, for those that came out, thanks for coming. Um, okay, so I have to. How? Ooh. Actually, I didn't check that. Let's see if I can get over here. Alright. So that's what it looks like when I'm off screen. Ooh, what was that? And then, alright. So thanks for checking out the stream. This has been some pre-alpha gameplay of Crowfall, along with my brief history of MMO games that I've played over my lifetime. Well, some of them, anyway, at least the notable ones to me. And I will see you in the future. Peace.